Hello, I'm Bea Reemschneider, Vice President of Content and Events for Advantage Business Marketing's Innovation and Discovery Pillars. I'm here today with Paul Fusson, National Business Development Manager, Life Science for Siemens Smart Infrastructure. We're here at the 18th Annual Lab Design Conference, where industry leaders have gathered to learn about the emerging trends in lab design. Today, we're going to address the evolution of lab digital services, and I'm going to start with Paul asking him this question. So how has the traditional lab actually changed, and how exactly have the new technologies impacted the infrastructure and its occupants?
Well, the lab has changed because all of the devices being used in the lab today are more intelligent, they're more connected. And the systems that support the lab within the building are also more intelligent and more connected. And that leads us to an opportunity to use that data, use more data and use it faster to support the goals and objectives of the organization, to save energy, to enhance safety.
So can you give some examples of the nature of a digitized lab and then maybe some of the analytical services that are now available?
Sure. So for example, think of a lab that has chemical fume hoods. We have the ability to track whether people are leaving the sashes opened or if they're closed, how well people are utilizing the space. We have the ability to sense chemicals in the space if they're being used properly, if they've been left open out on a bench, or if they're being properly used within the fume hood itself. We can take that data and very quickly get the information into the hands of the people responsible for safety, for sustainability, and they can in turn get the information to their employees in a way that supports very fast learning, good feedback, and also can be fair and can be done in a way that will be interesting to the occupant. Most of the workers in these labs today are young people who are used to the digital world. They're used to getting information, say, from their cell phone or smart device. So we have the ability to basically get a message to one of those workers saying, hey, you're doing this wrong. You need to change this for purpose of safety or improve the yield on your science. And they're going to respond. It's been shown.
Okay, so you're talking about safety and how it can be monitored. And can you make a comment on how it can be improved with this new technology?
Sure. So how do you improve anything? You measure it and you give feedback on it. And with this technology, we're able to very quickly track how people are performing their operations, what they're doing, and give them feedback in a format that works for them. So some people want to see a big report. Some people want to see some dashboards or some icons on their cell phone. Some people might like to get a voice message. Whatever it is, we can get the information that's necessary to the people that need it in the format that's best for them to digest it and use it. So we think that's going to improve the results of any kind of training and management.
And in another area, how about energy? Labs take a lot of energy, and the talk here at the conference is certainly about how to save energy, and how can that be improved using digital services?
Sure. So those same systems that we're monitoring, for example, the use of the fume hoods or the ventilation rate in the labs, these things all relate intimately to the energy use in the building. In fact, most lab buildings, 60% of their utility bill is literally going up in the air. Some of the things we can do are change the way the building operates when there's a small hazard. We can reduce the use of the air. And then when there is something detected, for example, the sash is open on the hood or a chemical has been left out on a counter and is beginning to infuse into the room, we're able to increase the air and use it better and use it more effectively. And then likewise, we have the information about the event. Our systems shouldn't just be going up and down and taking care of the building without letting someone know that behavior was wrong and that event occurred. And we're able to consolidate that information and again communicate it to the people that are responsible.
So communication is obviously really important, and it impacts the workflow
Sure.
Of the lab, of the new digitized lab. So what insights would the new technologies give the occupants, and how is it going to impact their workflow?
Sure. Well, so many of them they often don't think about how the building's operating or how their environment's operating, but we're able to get them information very quickly about the local conditions. Some chemistry, for example, is affected by humidity, and so we're able to give people a message very quickly that there might be a humidity problem or something like that, and that can avoid them wasting time doing chemistry that might be affected by the ambient conditions. Likewise, the building facility managers, these digital systems provide information to service providers who are not there in a truck. You know, they're sitting back in a digital service center. They get the information brought to them, and they can sometimes be working on the problem, fixing the problem before the occupants and the facility manager is even aware that there's an issue. So this is going to make the building operation run smoother. Now and again, it's all about information. We wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't communicate then what the problem had been, what the result, what the fix was, and what the impact might have been if the problem hadn't been fixed. So we think that it's going to change the workflow. It's certainly going to keep a lot of service vendor trucks out of the parking lot. It's going to be less disruptive to, the services will be less disruptive to the operations in the lab. And we think in the end it'll be safer and more energy efficient.
It does sound like lab digital services have evolved tremendously. Thank you, Paul, for your insights.
Siemens, ingenuity for life.